On this episode of Common, the team travels to the Big Apple for New York Comic Con. We'll talk with Marvel CEO Joe Quesada, America's Next Top Model Adrian Curry, Walking Dead creator Robert Kirkman, as well as others. Plus, we'll find out who the mystery guest is.
Gunman! So here we are at the first day of New York Comic Con, and we are very, very excited to be here. We expect to see a lot of great costumes. Not only that, but see a lot of great panels and exhibitors. So stay tuned and let's see what's going on.
Well, I know that we're going to meet the design team from Hasbro, and they're going to tell us some upcoming events that's going to happen in the animation and all the toys, so that's really exciting to look forward to.
All right, so we're here for our very first New York Comic Con panel.
Panel!
What panel are we on, Tyler?
Transformers, Leo.
Transformers. This should be amazing.
You like it? Yeah. Completely beast huntered up. He's ready to go to battle. He's got this cool hawk bow, 6 projectiles. We literally cannot squeeze any more into a package. Trust me. Bursting out the back. We tried. And I really hope you love it when you see this guy, but see him in real life. But yeah, he's ready to go to battle. He's completely new, different. Really excited about how Bumblebee looks.
So now, who are you dressed up as today?
Today I am Juliet Starling from the new game Lollipop Chainsaw, and this is her American Cheerleader alternate costume. And it's complete with chainsaw, which was at one point real and functioning. So it's still a little bit heavy, but yeah.
What does she do?
Juliet is your typical all-American girl, high school cheerleader. She's got her varsity football player boyfriend, Nick Carlisle. And one day she goes to school and it's been overrun by zombies. And soon enough we find out that Juliet is secretly a zombie slayer. And the chainsaw is her main weapon of choice. And she kills zombies with her chainsaw blast with waves of glitter and hearts and all that good stuff. And her boyfriend, Nick, that I mentioned, he gets bitten by a zombie and she cuts off his head to save him, performs a voodoo spell to keep him alive, and then proceeds to wear him as a keychain so that he can help her throughout the game.
So how long have you been cosplaying for?
I've been seriously cosplaying since about 2009. That's when I really got into it and tried to make it something serious. My whole life I've been making costumes because I grew up with a really crafty mom. She taught me how to sew, and my dad was the sci-fi geek, so I kind of had the best of both worlds. So I've been making costumes since I was probably 5 or 6. I always made my own Halloween costumes and stuff like that, did school plays and local theater.
For all those cosplayers out there, do you have any advice for them?
If you're wanting to get into cosplay, my main piece of advice is to just know your material. You know, really be into the character that you're trying to portray. Because I think, you know, no matter what your skill level is in, you know, sewing or anything artistic, I think if you have a true passion for the character that you're trying to be, it shows through in the costume and you look a whole lot better anyway. Just research your material and love what you're working with.
We're doing face and body painting and henna tattoos for Alter Ego. Last year for Halloween I was the Avatar, and I did my own face paint and it came out really amazing, and I used to do it back in theater and church events and things like that back in Texas. And I was like, this would be really fun to start a small business, and especially we're at Comic-Con because I come every year. So to be a part of it is even better than walking around, and we have chairs to sit down in after you walk around for a while. Exactly.
Gunman!
8th Ave. Pretty excited today. Got my new hat. It's a foot soldier. And it's going to be a good day, right, Lee?
That's right, buddy.
Big Saturday. Saturday. Biggest day of the week. We're 2 days in, and pretty excited to see what Saturday has in store.
Oh. Slimer, I fought!
Seeing things running through your head. Can you tell me? An invisible man sleeping in your bed.
We're going to enter this way.
Hi, it's Mitch Halleck here at New York Comic Con. You might have recognized me from Connecticut Comic Con, but I figured what the hell, there's nothing else going on, so why not go to the Big Apple for the day? This is probably the 7th, I think, Comic Con Reed has put on here, Reed Pop, and it's gotten bigger and bigger every year. This year it's up to 115,000 people, and I don't know where they're going to put people next time, maybe the moon. But we're here talking about celebrities, we're here talking about comic book fans, we're here talking about everything that's geek, because geek is chic. And Con Men is a movie dedicated to that, to people that put on opportunities for fans, like-minded fans with like-minded interests to get together to prove to the world that it's cool to be a nerd. So join us, if you will, as we enter the world of pop culture. I'm here with Peter David, writer extraordinaire, and he's here to talk about Head Cases, his new project he's working with Stan Lee and Adrian Curry. Hey Peter, tell us more about the project.
Think of it as the superhero equivalent of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, following the adventures or misadventures of a young superhero named Thunderhead, who actually is so down on being a superhero that he spends most of the time hanging out in his favorite bar, the DMZ, the bar in the city that services all the superheroes and villains of the town.
All right, well, we're going to have to mark the TV guides like we used to do in the old days and start watching it, or DVR it nowadays, right?
Well, actually, it's for the web channel.
So you can see it anytime.
You absolutely can. Stan Lee's World of Heroes, which, or as we otherwise now call it, Comic-Con.
There you go, kids. Ask for it by name.
Cutman!
This is Mitch Halleck, and I'm here talking to Michael Uslan. You might know him better if you watch any of the Batman films over the last, 20, 30 years, and we'll see your name on the producer credits?
Yeah, getting to be something like that. The years are stretching out.
No, I gotta be a geek boy here, because my first comic my dad gave me as a kid, I believe it was Batman Meets the Shadow. You had something to do with that, didn't you?
You know who had something to do with that? Walter Gibson had something to do with that, and Bill Finger had something to do with that. It's since been proven historically that Batman wasn't simply influenced by the Shadow, that Bill actually took a Shadow story from November 1936 and turned it into the story for Detective Number 27. So, I mean, it's incredible what went on and how these two characters are so completely linked.
Yeah, and it was one of these things as a kid that scared the bejesus out of me, I gotta tell you, but it began the lifelong love of comics, because my dad told me how he had them, went to the Marines, my grandmother threw them away, and then I got your book last year, and it's a kindred spirit, though I gotta take some offense. There was some little remark about schmucks in Connecticut or something. I'm like, hey, I'm from there. There was one sentence, I don't know what it was, but
that was about the meteorite striking somebody in his house when he's sitting in Connecticut.
Yes, and you're like, what slob in Connecticut? I was like, hey, what's up with that?
Nobody ever makes fun of Connecticut. I'm from New Jersey. Everybody makes fun of New Jersey.
And rightly so, sir, and rightly so.
So there you go. So this is kind of New Jersey Strikes Back.
I saw that. I love the whole book, that one sentence. I go, when I see Uslan, I'm going to ask, what's your problem with the nutmeg state, pal?
Actually, my daughter went to boarding school in Simsbury, Connecticut.
Yes,
and she had a fantastic time there. It was great.
Well, that's great. But the book goes on, and if you haven't read it yet, go out and see it. You talk about all the things that has led to how people told you, no, we don't want to see Batman, we don't want to see Adam West. But you persevered, you did it, and look, we just had The Dark Knight Rises Rises. We just had the Dark Knight. I can't escapes me right now. The Frank Miller story's on there.
Dark Knight Returns, Part 1.
Part 1, and it just keeps going and going and going. Do you look back and say, "I told you so"? Somehow.
I'm not the kind of guy who says I told you so.
But you knew it.
Well, of course I know it. You know, people say to me, could you ever have imagined the success of the dark and serious Batman? Of course I could. From day one, that's the reason, it took me 10 years to get the first movie made. Everybody told me I was crazy. Every studio in Hollywood turned me down. They said, you can't do serious comic book movies. You can't do dark superheroes. You can't make a movie based on an old TV series. It's never been done. So I got nothing but rejections and doors slammed in my face for 10 years. Did I ever waver? No. I did not. I believed in this down to my toes. And at some point in time, when everyone tells you you're crazy and you suck, you have to think hard about it and look deep inside and go, am I just being stubborn, or do I really believe in this? And I really have always believed in it.
Well, for legions of Batman's fans around the world, I know we all say thank you very much for having that gumption and not quitting and saying, hey, this is going to happen. Because if it wasn't, maybe a lot of this Comic-Con stuff wouldn't be happening either. I mean, you kept the Batman fate alive and made it go to a broader audience. So, thank you.
Well, I appreciate it, and I got one of the greatest accolades of my career this past Wednesday, where Monmouth University awarded me the world's first ever doctorate in comic books.
You're doctor?
I am Dr. Uslan, first doctor of comic books.
Even Leo's giving the thumbs up. Doctor, I'm sorry, I should have introduced you as that.
May I suggest you read 2 Justice Leagues and call me in the morning?
That's a good one.
I am the doctor.
That is really cool. But if Bob Kane was alive, he'd be very proud of you right now.
Thank you, mostly.
Instead of your mom, you're like, yeah, I want Bob Kane.
Yeah, actually, when I accepted the doctorate, I accepted it on behalf of every creator, writer, artist, editor, and publisher since 1934 who toiled in the comic book industry, who never got the recognition, had to be deal with scorn and derision, dismissed. No one ever recognized it was a legitimate American art form in our modern-day mythology. Now they do. The work of comic book artists have appeared in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Louvre, the Smithsonian Institution, the UN, and it is a great day now when academia has now officially opened its doors to recognize the world of comic books, comics as an art form, and one of the ways they've done that is through the awarding of this degree.
So it's one of those things, I looked down at the spinner rack as a kid at the Liggett's drugstore and buying them for 20 cents a piece. Who knew, 30, 40 years later, I'd still be talking about this, and not just me, but 100,000 people here this weekend talking about it?
At least 100,000. You got to remember something too. I was at the first comic book convention ever held in the world, and I was 13 years old, July '64, in New York City, at a Fleabag hotel. 200 of us showed up for the first Comic-Con. Next year will be the 50th anniversary. This is my 49th annual Comic-Con, and I think we have some real celebration to do. The fact that we have created an institution that has now gone worldwide, where you get 100,000, 135,000 people turning out all over the world, and there's going to be a big explosion in Comic-Cons all over Asia, South America, and Europe starting next year. It's very exciting to see what's coming. I have one more mission to do now that I've gotten the doctorate in comic books. It is time that the Kennedy Center, for the first time, acknowledge comic books as an art form in America. It affects the performing arts in every way, shape, or form, and I want to see the Kennedy Center honor Stan Lee on behalf of the entire comic book industry, and we have all got to unite. We've got to bombard them with letters. We've got to let them know that we count, that our art form counts, that our mythology counts, and Stan should be up there and have a medal put around his neck by the President of the United States.
Absolutely. I'm the first one to send in. Now, is there a site or something official that people can start bombarding their congressman or senator and make this happen?
I am just now ready to roll up my sleeves and make this my next life's mission. So you'll be hearing a lot from me. I'm going to be like the cranky old guy who's never going to shut up again until this happens.
Hey, the squeaky wheel gets the Batman movie produced and gets Stan Lee a congressional medal, huh?
We're going to try.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Michael. Like I said, it's a pleasure, sir. You're a hero to all of us who never gives up.
I ain't a hero. All I am is a fanboy who decided to take what I love in life and make it my work.
Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Doctor.
Obviously, it takes no less than a Goonie to play Raphael, and so... You know Sean Astin from so many things. You grew up with him. He's from... What's up, Sean?
Hey!
How's it going, buddy?
What's going on?
He's from the Goonies.
What are these people doing here?
He's Rudy, as some of you jocks might know. Are there any jocks here? No, none? All right. He's Rudy, NCIS. I mean, he's everything. He was 24. He was...
I'm on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right now, Saturday night.
I've never heard of it. Tell me more. The fun story is that he originally voiced Raphael.
Yes,
so
I
he
was
and Sean
Raphael.
have a friendly rivalry, I'm sure, over that.
Many, many years ago.
And beyond
He was a good
Raphael,
one.
he's also Pinky from Pinky
Yes,
and the
I was
Brain.
Pinky.
Emmy award-winning Pinky, let it be known.
Yes, thank you very much. And my friend the brain, Maurice Lamarche, just won his second Emmy. Isn't that lovely?
From Florida, he's a surfer dude. He loves going out. He loves going to the clubs. And he loves wearing sunglasses indoors a lot at night.
Yeah, I got light eyes.
Right.
The turtles raised me. The turtles taught me how to meditate, got me into martial arts, got me into surfing, skateboarding. And this guy right here, I've been listening to him since I've been 8 years old.
Thanks for that, Greg.
Yeah. So he's kind of responsible.
Do you have any phone numbers I got to give back now when people understand how old I am? Jesus.
Dude, don't let it break.
Come here, you. The biggest shoe I've ever seen.
How many books is Wolverine going to be in? I don't know.
You don't have to buy them all, right?
He's incredibly popular. So
Yeah,
what do we do?
I know.
You just saw there was like a Deadpool renaissance. So it's just people wanted those characters. So
I talked to Joe Kelly. He was at a show we did in Connecticut, and he was like, "Yeah, people love the Deadpool."
Yep, they do. You know, it's probably our most popular costume that you see walking around the convention. So.
Oh yeah, I do that and a bunch of other weird things. Real quick, what can you tell us about any of the new Marvel movies? How about the one that's coming out next year, Wolverine?
I don't know anything about Wolverine because that's a Fox movie.
Okay, how about Iron Man 3?
It's gonna rock.
There you go. And Thor 2.
It's gonna be amazing. It really.
We're on a trend now. What about Avengers 2? Incredible.
You know what? It's way too early to talk about Avengers 2. But listen, we are doing our best to give fans, whether they're comic fans or just Marvel fans in general, the best movies we can.
Yeah.
And fingers crossed, if we do our jobs right, they'll be incredibly successful.
Say hello to the fans, Adrian.
What's up, everybody?
So how's the show been going so far?
The show has been really chaotic for me. I think I spent a little bit too much time at Rex Cabaret last night. We got home at like 5 a.m.
And you got here what time?
1.
And you're going straight home to bed and get a good night's sleep, right?
Unfortunately, no. I have to hang out with some of my adult swim friends tonight for the Grimm Fairy Tales party.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah.
All right.
It's funny, my new show, Superfans, that I'm about to go on a panel about, I have my dad speak on it because my dad literally brought me to every sci-fi movie that ever came out since I was 3. My mom hated it.
Yeah.
And my brother was a jock, so he didn't have like the son that would go, and then I turned into that for him. So like everything, the first time I saw The Never-Ending Story with him, I saw Blade with him. I mean, I've seen Independence Day, and it was all with my dad.
No horror movies, no like The Thing or John Carpenter stuff, or he was pretty PG guy?
I think my dad learned after we watched it, and I haven't slept a nice night since, and I scream, and I can't even be in the same room with a clown, that I was a little too young at a certain point to maybe watch some of that stuff. But I do watch Walking Dead all the time now, and it scares the living right out
Well,
of
it's
me.
one of those things. The Walking Dead's not so scary during the day, but if you watch it at night, suddenly everything seems a little creepier.
It is
Leo's nodding. We're all afraid at night.
It's awful. I mean, it's not even just the dead that's creepy. It's suspense. It's like the stress of watching that show. I'm going gray. I can't take it.
Be Walt Disney night, but now it's zombie night. So things have changed since I've been a kid, you know?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
It's a new world.
Really? All right. The kids' college education all paid for now with this stuff?
Not yet. We're getting there, but not yet.
All right, man. Well, good luck, Bob. I remember when I sat across you that time. So the last time I sat across you in Darabont, the whole time I just kept staring at you like, do I know who that guy is? And you were just like, and nobody's asking me any questions. I felt so bad. And then I went home and go, I read Marvel Zombies. He wrote that. I like that. Because the zombie stuff gives me the willies. So I was like, Big burly men like us aren't supposed to be afraid of that type of stuff.
I'm afraid of that stuff.
You are?
Oh yeah.
No, you're not. You're from Kentucky.
No, I am a sissy. Trust me. I got nerves of
Jello.
Weak Jello. There we
Jell-O?
go. Nerves of Jello. The opposite of steel is what I was looking for.
Gunman!
No, I think you need those reboots because you can't keep doing the same stories over. If you stop to think, even the books, every month after month, and so many versions. It's not just one Spider-Man book. There's, I don't know how many Spider-Man titles that come out of it, and same with all of them. And
Hey, Stan, could you just say Excelsior?
Excelsior!
You got it.
I've been doing this for over 25 years since I was a little kid, teenager. I grew up in Rockaway Beach, Queens. I started buying and selling comic books from my parents' basement, like the old story goes. And over time, I kept doing it through high school, through college. And when I got out of college, I started selling comic books in the streets of Manhattan. I would drive into Manhattan and set up on Broadway between John and Maiden. And I would set up with 2 card tables, 8 boxes of comic books, and I would sell comic books out there. And I built my business, and over time, I started buying and selling more and more of the Golden Age, Silver Age comic books. First Batman, first Superman, first Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four. And today I'm the owner of Metropolis Collectibles. We are the premier online auction site for vintage comic books, comic artwork, and comic book related memorabilia. The business has been around since 2007. We have the world's records for the 3 most expensive comic books ever sold. The Amazing Fantasy 15, first Spider-Man, in 9.6 condition, we sold for $1.1 million. Action Comics #1 in 8.5 condition, we sold for $1.5 million. And we hold a Guinness World Record for the most expensive comic book ever sold. Action Comics #1, 9.0, $2,161,000. So we really get great prices for comic books.
Now, what type of inspiration do you as a comic book collector have for maybe anybody who's trying to build a collection or, something that might be worth something in the future?
The advice I have for people that are trying to build collections is to collect what you love. You'll always be happy with it no matter how much it's worth. If it goes up in value or doesn't, you'll still be happy with it. So I say collect what you love, create a budget, create a goal, what you want to do. Do you want to collect covers? Are you collecting key issues? Are you collecting runs of series, different titles? So you want to figure out what you want to do and then stick to that and leave yourself a 10% miscellaneous amount of money in your budget to buy something you might like that doesn't fit exactly what you're doing. Otherwise, you'll be scattered, you'll be buying all this different stuff, and when you look at the end of the day, you go, what do I have here?
Hi, this is Mitch, and I am talking to Madison from Femme Fatales. How are you today?
I am doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Now, the show has been successful. We've been talking to Mark Altman. He's been saying how it's been picked up for a 2nd season. People love it. What do you find so empowering about your character and the episode you were in?
Well, I've done about 4 episodes now, and one of them was really cool. So basically, we hung this guy, which was played by Charlie O'Connell, put a rope around his neck, and he was standing on this gigantic ice cube. So the ice cube melted so slowly, and he gradually hung. It's like torture.
When I got the script, there was for example, one scene where it was just passionately kiss in bathroom. So I'm thinking maybe leaning over the sink or something like that. And my name is Sheena Marie for audio purposes. Okay. And when I got to set, it was, oh no, sex scene in the shower. Both of you are naked. Hi, nice to meet you. And that was not in the script. So it's kind of the opposite. I wasn't expecting that when I got there, but.
2, 3. Paper, not stone.
Next time on Con Men, you will join us as we take you to Boston Super Mega Fest. There you will see the darkest of cosplay, various artists as well as other familiar heroes from my own Star Wars universe. You will talk to Chip Perro, as well as special guest cameos from around the sci-fi galaxies. We will also show you some unique arts and crafts. You do not understand the power of the Con Men. You will visit www.con-men.tv.
Hey, thanks a lot. I'm glad you're in here.
Hi, I'm Leo Marinak.
Joe Quesada.
And you're watching Con Men.
Yes, you are.
I'm Destiny Nicholson, and you're watching Con Men.
This is what Con Men is all about.
But that's a cool thing, it comes back.